All right, quiet down, quiet down. Just gotta straighten out my back. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the good old city of Atlantis. Yahoo! Oh man, those were the good old days until it drowned into the ocean.
What's Atlantis, Grandpa?
Good question. You see, a long time ago, there was a city in the ocean. Well, not in the ocean. Well, near the ocean. Let's say it like that. And so, someone say something?
I was curious. I thought you said that it was a city. It's not like its own country, so like.
No, it's a city, not a country.
What country is it a part of?
It's a part of Lamu Alikiportahismo.
That's right. I just didn't know how to spell it. Thank you for that.
Of course, young man. So, oh yeah, this is Atlantic writing. Anyways, so
What ocean did it sink into?
The Atlantic Ocean, Eddie. Oh, come on.
Oh,
You gotta get your facts right, all right?
That's right. That would make sense. It's not Pacificus. It's Atlantis.
of course, Pacificus was its neighboring city.
Oh yes.
But that's for another story. So it had things like these weird little show wheel things that they would use to ride around. It's kind of like a scooter, but like a very advanced scooter that went like woo! It also had, for some reason, these weird things called tridents, which was like their main weapon. And they had this feature where it could stun things and hand you, from this little compartment, pockets of cheese.
When was this?
Oh, this was in 1106 AD. That's when it was. And so I visited there on a trip because you see, at my time, I owned a whole country. And so they wanted to invite me for celebratory things. And so I walked in and I saw this bustling city market. And they had all these weird creatures I'd never seen before. Like, for example, they had this weird fish thing that tasted like chicken when you pulled apart its guts and ate them. Tasted absolutely delicious. Only problem is that it gives you cerebral cancer if you eat too much. And then we also have these weird shellfish things, which they called the derpy shellfish because when it popped its weird looking head out, it had the biggest eyes you've ever seen. My God.
Grandpa, that doesn't look good.
That's what it looks like. It has two antennae. It has these big eyes, and it always looked mad all the time. And it had these weird-looking lines, and it had these weird... And so...
What language was spoken in Atlantis?
In Atlantis...
So it's like kind of singing.
Yeah, they love to sing. They love to sing about everything. Even their king, when he would do his speeches, he'd be like, and everybody was singing too, like asking him questions like, and so it was, just one of the greatest cities ever. And the main power source were these things called soul crystals, which, like their name suggests, they were made with actual human souls, because that was quite fashionable back in today. Kind of has fallen out of style in more recent times. So, there was one big one in the center of the whole city that actually kind of sat above the public eye. But one day, some idiot thought of the idea, what if I stole it? And that was me. So I went up there and I kind of sneaked up there with my cool ninja skills.
You have ninja skills, Grandpa?
Yeah, I do. Look, watch.
Ooh.
See,
Grandpa, you'd scare someone.
I am scary.
Indeed you are.
And so there's me with my big crown. And so I used my big octopus arms and I grabbed it.
You had octopus arms, Grandpa? How did you get octopus arms?
I have many things you don't know. Those octopus arms, you don't want to know how I got them. Maybe I'll tell it to you in one story. Anyways, so I was like, I grabbed it. And so I started running off. and I was just having a field day. I was like, look, I got this big crystal. I got this big crystal. And my arms were normal at this point, and so I was just running around. I was like, woo. And also the crystal shrunk in size, so that's another weird thing about it. And as I was running, it started to, have this rumble sensation, like, and so I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And people started screaming and running, and they were, trying to get away. I know he looks like he's partying, but he's scared.
How'd the screams sound?
They sound like,
So like a planet singing?
yeah, like a platypus. Oh yeah, also they did have platypuses back then. Platypus people. Yep, platypus people. And so, so the city started sinking under the water.
God, the 1100s were crazy, Grandpa.
I know, right? That's when King George died, apparently. Anyways, so it sunk into the bottom of the sea. And I still have that crystal in my very possession. I don't know where it went. It's in my deep, dark basement.
Grandpa,
But-
you have a lot of things in your basement,
Yeah, I have your mom in that basement.
Oh.
Anyways, so that's how Atlantis fell.
I was wondering where my mother went.
Of course. Maybe you can find her in Atlantis one day. Anyways.
You want to take me there sometime, Grandpa?
Oh, yeah, it's a great vacation spot.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean...
How do you get in there now?
Well, you see, you gotta take this deep, dark path, like in the movie Atlantis, the Lost City. And you also gotta face off against this big, gigantic monster that's made out of metal that's gonna try to kill you. I went in there one time and I lost basically all my friends down there, but we'll talk about that another time. So anyways, after you get past that robot, then you also gotta deal with those soul eaters, which are the remnants of the people. They've got these big gaping mouths and they suck out your soul.
I'm sorry, there's an electronic robot living underwater in Atlantis.
Yeah, they had some pretty...
Kevin Hart?
Who is Kevin Hart? The last time I heard of a Kevin Hart, I took his heart out and I ate it. Like in an Aztec ritual, except without the eating part.
Which movie was that in?
That was in The Hunt for...
Can I get your signature?
Red October?
Of course, son.
Not you, Kevin Hart.
I still don't know who that
I know it's
is.
not my Kevin Hart.
Stop it, young man. You're encouraging him.
Sorry, Grandma.
It's fine. So, other than that, other than the soul eaters and all that, it's a great vacation spot. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.
Bye, Grandma. Splendid job. I have no questions, obviously.